Hello and welcome to BOLO version 6. This is going to be one video out of a 4-part series that is intended to inform the users of how to use our system. This video is geared toward the administrative user. Before you can access our system, you're going to have an account provided for you. When an account is created for you, you will be receiving an email. This is what the email looks like, and what it includes is your username as well as your temporary password. So now let's go ahead, copy this, and let's try to log into the system. Perfect. Now the first thing that you're going to notice is that it's going to ask you to change your password. This is the first step for any new account. You must change your password before you can go into the system. So let's go ahead and do that now. Perfect. And we are good to go. So now this is what the BOLO system looks like. The BOLO system is broken down into officer, supervisor, administrator, and root. Now, the administrator can do everything that the supervisor and the officer can do with some added functionality. The administrative user can go ahead and create a BOLO just like any other user, but in addition to that, they have the administrative portal, which we'll be navigating to now. In this administrative portal, you can create a new BOLO category, you can create a new agency, as well as create a user. So the first thing we're going to be doing is creating a BOLO category. Now a category is basically a template for the BOLO. These are some already existing categories, and we're going to go ahead and add a new one. Alright, and we're going to be naming this one Wanted. And now this is going to be the name of the category, and this is going to be the name of the field that you want to put in. So this is going to be name. I'm going to add another field and put last known location. We're going to put description. Last known vehicle. And we're just going to leave it like that for now. So once you're satisfied with the BOLO category, you can go ahead and submit. Oh, I'm sorry, it looks like I missed an H. Go ahead and submit, and it'll tell you the category has been created. Now that the category has been created, we can move on to creating a BOLO. You can go ahead and create one really quickly. And this is just to demonstrate that as an administrator, you can create a BOLO and then have that, create a category and have that category populate when you're going to create a BOLO. For example, this is the one we just created, and there it is. So let's put the name, John Doe, last known location, FIU. He's wearing a black hoodie, approximately 6 foot tall. Last known vehicle he was driving, we don't really know that, so we're just going to put unknown. Now we're going to upload some images. Put suspicious person. These are some images that we were able to capture of the subject John Doe while he was doing some very suspicious behaviors. Okay, everything looks good. And now we're going to go ahead and submit. Now when you create a BOLO, you're going to be sent an email notification that's going to ask you to confirm the BOLO. But we're going to go ahead and do that a little bit later, and we'll get back to it. But for now, I wanted to go over how you can create an agency. So as an administrative user, you can go ahead and create a new agency. You do that by going to the admin portal, going to agency management. These are some of the already existing agencies, and you can go ahead and add a new agency. We're going to call this agency, just for examples, we're going to say Hotmail users. This is going to be a domain that is going to be for users that have a Hotmail domain. Okay, and we're going to make the address. You can make the address, whatever is appropriate for your agency. And this is just an example for us to work off of. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll just grab a logo and we're going to go ahead and submit. Perfect, so it looks like the agency has been registered. Now we go back to agency management and you can see that sure enough, Hotmail users is now completely registered. You can go into it and you see all the details about it. Now that you created an agency, you can actually populate that agency with users. And to create a user, you go to user management. Here you're going to be presented with a couple of the users for your particular agency. Since right now we're on the Gmail users agency, we only see the users for Gmail user, which is another distinction between administrative user and root user. Root user can see all of the users on the system, where administrative users can only see users within their agency. So we're going to go ahead and create add new user. We're going to be creating a BOLO user, and under agency we can see that Gmail users is selected. Go ahead and we can make it an officer, and we're going to make the badge number something simple. I say BOLO user, and let's see, what was the email? Let's see. Perfect, so it looks like the BOLO has been able to be registered. I'm sorry, the user. And if we go to user management, we'll see that BOLO user was created. It was created as an officer. They're not active yet because that individual has to go in to their email, check their email, and then from there they'll be able to access the account, similarly to how we did earlier in this video. Some of the other functionality that you have as an administrator, but this is also just as a regular user, you can go to the agency directory and see all the agencies, all of their information. You can click on any of them and you can see exactly what the information they have. Their address, their contact information, what their logos are, stuff like that. Now, if you go over here, you'll see the account option, the user guide option, the about us, and of course the logout option. If you go here, you can just see your account and all the different details about your account. And you go to change password. You can change your password if you wanted to. You can see what notifications you have. The notifications is something that we set in place, but it hasn't been completely implemented, and that's going to be included in our wish list in a separate video. Okay, let's go to our inbox now. Now you see we did receive an email for that BOLO that we created earlier. We did get the email to confirm it. So now we're going to go ahead and try and confirm that BOLO that we created. BOLO has been confirmed. It's asking us to log in again, so we can go ahead and log in. Okay, and this is the user that we created. and this was the wanted category. So we'll go ahead and go to details. And sure enough, you can see that all of the information that we filled out is there. So the name is John Doe, last known location is FIU, description, the last known vehicle, when the BOLO was created, and the other information we didn't fill out, so it just goes to not applicable. Now, from here, we can actually generate a PDF of that BOLO. It will have all the information that we need in the form of a BOLO, in the form of a PDF, so that you can distribute it to people in your precinct, to bystanders out in the city. But as soon as a BOLO is created, it also goes out to whoever's subscribed to that BOLO, so they'll also be getting a notification as well. Let's go ahead and get out of here. You also have the archived BOLOs, and in the archived BOLOs, the only person that has access to it would be the system root administrator, which is going to be available in another video. But basically, you can archive these BOLOs. For example, we can archive this one. And then the root administrator can go in and see all of the BOLOs that have been archived, and if they so choose to, they can bring them back to the front end, or to this view, which is the active BOLOs view, or they can just completely delete them from the database as well. Of course, you can also search for BOLOs. Okay, let's try to do that again. And you'll see that we were able to get the search results, and this is the BOLO that we wanted to find, which is the one that we just created. Of course, also if there's any issues, you can always go to the user guide, and there's also step-by-step instructions on how to perform some of the functionality that we talked about in this video. But this is what the main role of the administrative user is. You're able to create a user, create an agency, and create a category. That is what distinguishes the administrative user from the regular BOLO user or the supervisor user of the BOLO system. In the next coming videos, we'll also be going over the BOLO root user and how that is different from the other three roles as well. Hopefully I did a thorough job in explaining the role of the BOLO administrative user, and hopefully I went through with enough precision to show you what exactly it is how the administrator navigates within the BOLO system and what they are in charge of. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us or look at our documentation. And this has been the video tutorial for the BOLO administrative user for BOLO version 6. My name is Brian Zimore. Thank you very much for your time.